When you think of Hong Kong, what comes to your mind? Do you think it's characterized by individualism? Well, this is what I have always believed, but my research has proved me wrong. In this speech, I will inform my audience about the culture, demographics, characteristics, events, and about everyday living. This country of Hong Kong has always fascinated me. While it still belongs to China, Hong Kong still operates as their own country, and their culture is very different. First, I will tell you about Hong Kong's culture, then the demographics and how they live. Then lastly, about the current event that has taken place there. Let me begin by informing you about the culture of this country. Hong Kong is one of the world's top exporting countries. According to Hofstede Insight, Hong Kong has a culture that expresses high power distance. The culture has an attitude toward these inequalities amongst us. This means unequal distribution of power is one of their cultural norms. For example, families in Hong Kong have more control over their children and teach them obedience in the work business. Subordinates have little to no say and are expected to be told what to do. Compared to Western cultures, Hong Kong is a collective culture and a collective society. It's where people act to interest of the group they belong to and don't focus on individual as much. They believe personal relationships are more important than tasks at hand and treat their in-group as families. A culture that is represented by collectivism also avoids contact at all costs. Now that I have explained to you all about the culture of Hong Kong, now I will be talking about the demographics and how these people live. Hong Kong is one of the most crowded places to live. According to Country Meters, Hong Kong population is projected to increase by 61,292 people and reach 7,499,604 in the beginning of 2019. This means the amount of people who are not native residents will move and become permanent residents, therefore prevailing the immigrants who have left the country. Hong Kong's population has increased by 82% according to the Country Meters demographics of the Hong Kong 2017. The number of births have overexpected the amount of deaths by 29,805. They also have a masculinity culture which leads into how their society views achievements and success. Their masculinity views are driven into children at a young age, making them accept the roles their mother and father play, as well as as hard as you work. They live to work and spend late night hours trying to achieve success. In Hong Kong, gender equality is strongly weighted on the male gender. The males have more economic assets, political power, and mostly cultural authority. This leads to women feeling more comfortable to stay at home and care for their children, while the men work. This keeps describing the masculinity of Hong Kong and how men focus on values such as success and money, while women value more nurturing and comforting. Now that you have learned about the demographics of Hong Kong, lastly let me tell you about a current event that is happening. According to The Guardian, Hong Kong is the city with the world's tiniest and costliest living spaces. Although this might be true, these little homes might multiply with some drain pipes are converted into homes. You can imagine living in that home as a drain pipe. William Lim is the leading member of the factory audit team in Hong Kong, and he believes this creative design can be a solution to the city's desire to lack of the entire space. These new places are called a nano flat, and the areas that cover up to 200 square feet. According to The Guardian, one of the issues with the overcrowding on Hong Kong is because they do not have legal minimum space for private residential units. Lila McKay, a psychiatrist and director of the Culture for Urban Design, states, "These new nano flat apartments will have protective factors to mitigate the risk of mental health problems, welcoming attractive, safe, and accessible apartments." In conclusion, people in Hong Kong live a very different life. In the beginning, we started off by talking about the culture of Hong Kong. Then we went on to discuss the demographics of it, and lastly, a significant event that is happening there.
right?